work. These do not help me. So this is the most important part on the arm movements is I pick it up, this hand's here and this hand is here. I slide, I push her up, and then I take this hand and I slide it down and come down. I pick up, notice I'm changing my hands. I pick up and I slide, and then I slide and I come back down. So this is shoulder flexion, and this is shoulder extension. For abduction, I turn her palm up. This is what no one wants to do, and I put both my hands under her arm. Not on the elbow, but on each side of the elbow. I bring it all the way up. As I come down, I slide my hand and bring it all the way to her body. I walk. Notice I'm not doing this. I am walking because I don't want to hurt my back. So I'm both hands, push, pull down. I'm pulling down to keep her arm straight to her body. Did y'all get that? Okay. So now we're doing external and internal rotation. I'm going to bend her elbow, and I'm going to put my hand under her elbow. And this one is much easier to do. Go back and up, back and up. You'll only be tested doing it 3 times, but in the real world you'll have to do it at least 10. Now I'm going to trade hands and put the other hand under the elbow. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Now if she told me that that was hurting her shoulder, I wouldn't do it that way. I would pull her body, pull her elbow into her body, and I would go out, in, out, in, out, in. Next is the elbow. Am I going too fast? I put my hand under her elbow because I'm going to need that so I can straighten her arm out. So I push in, I'm holding her wrist, and then as I pull out, I push up a little bit underneath her elbow to get it really straight because they have a tendency of getting a flexion contracture in their elbow. So I pull back out, push in, pull back out. Now I'm going to do pronation and supination. And if you notice, most of my movements are to protect myself. I'm not doing anything that I'm not overusing my body in any way. So I'm just rotating back and forth like this. Both hands, one hand is on the lower forearm, one hand's on the upper forearm, and I'm just turning my body. Pronation and supination. Now, as she's just like this, with her palm facing her body, I hold right below the wrist, and I hold this part of her hand below the knuckles, and I push down for wrist flexion and back for wrist extension. Flexion, extension, flexion, extension. And now we're going to do radial and ulnar deviation, exact same way in the hand placement. And then we're going to raise our fingers up. Remember, you have to move your hand up higher. And we're going to do close the fingers and straighten. Close the fingers, straighten, close, straighten. So now I'm going to take the thumb over to the pinky and back. And if you so needed to, you could do each finger individually, but we're not going to. But you could if they needed it. So that is passive range of motion. It's the first 2 movements that give everybody trouble. So you can say, look at me do this before I video,